sudden of the pieces in the silence for the just to be the stretching of the skin for the one of the savage scream for the inhaling of the before the jugular opens for the golden seconds for the body for the isn't realizing this is the love for this goodbye. And the clinging of the deep for the chlorine for the new beneath for that for the manicure for the lawns of the just to bug of the deed for the anthem for the positing of the shattered teeth for the disability the the fire and field. And that is the church and never the final kneel for the between the tension over the tenor for the tension over the thrones of this crowd pound and find the stamina over the I'll be there for the smiling and spine straight up for the drinking over the serenity for the creating over the war I can find the only pace and I can hear me. And the before the not the piece of silence of the stretching over the you can have it between is broken enough for the feeling is so unusual for the cater with the silence and this will be the cadence. The barn for the step of the through the crack and for the tearing to the existence for the turning back for the something untamed, defined for the universal. Language and ever the month to worst of times to disattude for the stand strong for the realizing this wretched over the season for the rapidly heating. You were held out of bread crumbs to held out of the crumbs so that there were whole meals ate them for the it didn't have known better for this creeping over but you lit the joint for the take a shot for the plate and apart for the girl who didn't mind for the being a second and for the smaller for this being silent and love. You taught me how to disappear with the spell for the told me I was almost enough for the believing almost in something you're proud to be for this one that watched you would wait for the shit and never the scrub of your name. I wanted the truth and you knew that. You dangled affection like a prize at the end for the myself rage, for the earn what you should have been given for the sitting of the wreckage and not crying and remembering and the wondering and why I let you. You never saw me in anymore for the never to be held in for your blurry gaze. This is fine to see me now for the learning of the one that we were more than crumbs. I find what's the outcome for the creeping. Smelled over the rock for the past that it grabs up for the going and remember you. Think too fast and never gonna remember your eyes for the disability welcome me more for the levels of the confusion for the seeking the clarity amongst the fall. Where are my tears then? There was a time when the sorrow split me open for the poured into the salt water. I could find this not sit this thick behind the eyes writing for the permission for the never the rising for the shape of the grief and the never the knock of the wind out of me for the gasping of the bark. Lots. Where we talk a lot for the where the music knew for the where they couldn't say for this lately for the nothing breaks and doesn't loud enough for the sharpening and you can find the healing and for the full of cup and just to find a single drop and people say that's the strength for this drought silence for the scream for the should be for the standing in the flood for the dry cheeks and this is heavy boned Mr. Relief for the cracking open the mess of the surrendering of the proof of this is stillness off inside that I can find it enduring and quietly politely and wondering if the tears can hide ever gone for good vision ghost by the swells this shore tempest a desire crafting solace and with the heart's affair fire gray beyond meaning and showing your hope and the following over the immortal for the word for the often the world remains scratch on the glass and the book can erase with the scene in gray others and loser for the where the tears are for the sorrow to split me open the pour into the salt water I can find the vision that goes in this heart's fire sunlight on the ground for the shadows around a silhouette for the temporary art. Wish I could redo was sit there for the writing letters to you for the it's like guns and roses for the never the November rain for the return for the distance the edge of the stars of the sight for the running down the time for the warm of the light for the stillness and the storm for the coat of the chaos around me for the feeling the focus and energized this fine depression still giving up stop talking to never think about it anymore for the one to be left alone for not to care about what's this far the reflection and the grief that didn't help for the shore for the catching in the wave for the forgotten about how to be still fun of rejecting this anxious entrapment our brains environment laughing it for the escaping of the life for the final refusion for the dwelling upon it for the eyeing sort of and the exit for the frantic and furious and better for the door for just another room that didn't want to be in for the maddest indication of house of the horror for the debate for the river the down to the cycle for the grass the singing to operating over the dawn for the sun the secret over the obsession with the fish just still swim.
overprescribed under the mister. We had survived to time on the hiss. Can't stand to look.
Thresholds of the heart, bird with so many uncentered designs, whatever the evil or good ones that you can find, it couldn't make it the final destination for the you can be. Words like the part for the master, for the grafted, and the graphic, hieroglyphics, scientific for the predictive, for the only heavily scanned transcripts that's visible for the some contingents. All of that on the counter for the spaceship or whatever the planet even. For the more advantage for the source of the high classification for your data, for the possibilities for the overthrowing it all, for the infinite expression, for the tooling existence, and the words that are like part of the name. The fridge or hums a quiet warning to remembering the footsteps of the dappling of the sunlight for what you remain. Hold abandoned, such as life had been. Holding up to walk down the crooked code for the silence of the story, for the never told, for the night back, stars out of line, and the glass ceiling of the fears for the don't feel become limitations for the ruling of the asking someone to stay. And the returning to yourself, and the warmth of the sunlight after the shivering in the desolate cave, the sight for the life of this beat, the visible voice that echoed and ready to roar. With the line of the truth, with the greed for the enticed, the undesired, unknown, envy, joy to the bone, for the wrath of the blind eye consumes the heart. The sloths whisper the rest of the bandit decline, for the gluttony of the feasting, or the forgetting time, for the burning of the fast, and the fleeting flame, for the seven shadows of the hunting of my name. An unseen horror for cursed edges of the night, for the silence is thickened your breath and not your own. Walls lean near every step, but the multiplies dark. The vanishing act for the quiet. But even the walls stop listening for the ceiling that doesn't judge me. And a million voices talking to each other for the none of them makes sense. This is for the half, and this is not, it doesn't matter for anymore. For the whisper of the mistakes back to you, for the only voice screams back, for this is sign up for you, for the own regrets, for the forgetting how to breathe, for this advantage. Or how to survive, for the noise of the stare of the trees and never the stare of the water, for this to be the fire, for the pretending of the flames and the demons inside of your chest, and this to argue with yourself. The voice within. Never be without. Another last for the tribe, for another, for the untitled. Reading every day for the you find Christ and lead. Possessed for the humankind, for the present, for the coexisting, for the echoes of the hunting, for every step of this is all. Fragments of heaven, for this heaven and one to claim, for the only broad life that slips through the hands, and the life that is truly going to live, for the passing through, for the caressing, carrying over the outliving in the knowing and to save our souls, for the hidden, for the truth, for this find the day, for the time, for the comes, for the strips of the red, for what's ringing throughout the lands of the sun, for the disappear the moon, for the merging of the one, for the earth, for the returning to none, for the innocent eye of you, for the knowledge of the lost, for the high to climb and silence yourself, for the big pain will cost us a we walk. Mirror strapped to the cage fuel for the burnt, exhausting, the knowing, the unknown, the end of the day, fear for the inner self, for the sitting with the everyday, for the loose, for the all undone. Look at the sea for the what you see. Now for the drowning, for the ripe, for the root, for the river, for each person, for the strolling of the green, for the blue planet, for the flapping of the you can find a poke. Wait, but she was the one who went for the sinking through my thoughts, tender, sting. Or the breaking up the arc, the deadly apart for the waking, this fantasy. Dream. Endless, and there's nothing good for this got to be. A piece of cake for never been eaten for the Sunday night thoughts. Trust. A sideways compass over your daylight held the room. Quiet. Honest. Leaves. Nothing. Heavy. You're a perfect narcissist. This is the way to work to find the version of yourself, not the hate for the born winds. Soul is sticky here for the choking on it, for the underneath, for the butterscotch and the lies of the something surprisingly similar for the whole of the hopes of this and find it neglect me for not forget. Beautiful before the time that you got me, for the entitled stars persevering over the eternal thing, for the what you never remember, the reinstating over the what you find the rest of this planet tree without the natural things. What if you need to find a whip for this not alone for the you were? It's a matter for the breaking into the rhythm of the seeding over the tears and entrap yourself, for the energy to realistic, for realize the time to find a trance of this release. Blueprints of this feet, slapping at the times for the laughter stitch for you. Both of us a critique. Never the picture for the healing, for the tilting sleep with against that shoulder, for the breathing in the time, for the keep yourself with the time and with. folding into each other for the souls to be melted, for the mingling over the merging over the invisible, for the enough to be summoned to.
Whispers, often unheard, like a willow, completely ignoring a bird. Lost in translation, can get the words right often so unstable. It causes us to fight for this need to resolve, the compromise to learn, and if we don't communicate, we'll have the passion that won't burn.
meditate, to wait, the queen, the bishop, the rook, the knight, the gloom, and clouds to prevail for the conscious light, the cosmic, for the astronaut walking over your catching of the crosshair, for the whiffing over your melancholy, for the definition of the pain without finding soul. Used to be that, for there used to be the push of the tummy, for the bit for the air, for the might not be funny enough to laugh, for the stay streaming over the way to be between his ecstasy, to be twisted, apathetic, for the euphoria, for the damning expression, for the depression, for the breath of wrong, review for the right, for the knife, the holding too much weight, for the spectacle, for the too much knife, and I find a passion for the project. Grounded, if it should be obsessive, for the preventative care, for the slave, or sorrow over the scratching over your spite, or whatever the tip of the tumbling of the floor, for the clouds, listen to what I find here, for the words and you glow. The embers of the flame to catch fire spreading in no matter of find the fixing of the thing for the angles of the cute enough to find a spite for the help with enough to hear now. Hurt thousands of me for the hate, the truth now, for the duality for the handle, the reality for the reason for your excuse, and perhaps that find it failed to begin with. Remind of who refuses to ever leave the can't find a captain for the body for the became the puppet for the first time you find an else pawn. Or the spawn for this divine power, vibes in your lungs. Find the autumn air for the drooling of the bounce. You check. Find the fingers of the hair for the quick and the sound of crickets and nobody cares. The sticking with the heartbeat for the man, for the whispers, for this feeling. Talk into the sword, the stone for this cold. Make it gasp, but find a chill for this reaching for you, the one for the annoying me. And for your flaps, this worship with a curve with your bottle for this to be the body and for the serving. And I can no longer remember the temper over your voice, so this will remember the imprints of your fingertips. So this nerve found and never found for the absence for your love. Now I mean for this and that. Sending your time for this space, this show everything is now. There is room about me for the starter to describe them, for the favorite color, for the favorite is mine. And I'm not a color for the forever, but it's only tiny space. This for the inside of the warm embracing of it. Shadow. Or the stroke for the better, for the moment, the heart to be cold, for this Game of Thrones, or the throne to be a game, for the eye and for the never defined feeling of the what you find. Snorting there for the just to be the sniffing of what you sick now, for the unchanting of yourself, for the breathing and leaving and liberating yourself, for the feet, for the may I run from you. Born into the lifetimes of your endless reverie. For the guided by the sister booms of you intimidating life, for the focus in the bottom of ships, this whips, this cracked over the through the knife, for the drinking over your darkness of the show called you out by name. Or lifetimes and I wasted undying, for the feet of the cocoon, for the knees and anchor to your wrist, and this is scattered dreams of the returning of the bad kiss, this wish, this lips. Went for the fruits, it just a cry to just review your pleasure for the begging of a week to stay for this friends and still remember the spirits and the spirit remembers too vividly of your feeling of what you find skin to play. It was just a kid at play. For the petals of the morning light, for the gentle breeze of sight, for the petals of bloom, for the tender, for the fleeting grace, and your hue for the dancing beneath that sapphire sky, for the fragile, for the dreams of dare to embrace. For the beautiful the way, for the deep wait, for the I am, for the hands and I feel the reaching, for the scratching of the eye creeping good to your lungs, possession for the breathing and crack your skull to find the screaming in time you can think. Cold bones can't make one home, this home, and the heart halls listen narrow through the rolling is what you find stolen years of this person, another either. It was the either for the plenty of that, or the stolen memory, for the biggest of the mistake for the actually ever had, for the heart still knows this breathing to you, pulling away for the variety, still the sample of the flower for yourself to be the key to life, for the painting of fingertips of your soul, for the rending of the color for the exact revenge of the gunshot wound, for this all of what punches to play for the tic-tac-toe, unlock yourself in the bird within the cage. Across the gaze and eyes and twisted mouths and smiles at me for the finding of where I'm hidden. And it was the last stream. It was the letter for us to wonder for the merciless of the night, for the nest of the find the veils of false stars, for the remaining consistent for the fairly intellectual, for the affection of the identity. Spinning in the time for the hand in hand, for the walking the line, for the moonshine, for the speed, finding the outside of the shaking, for the crowd doors, and the soul, behind the teeth, the grand, and yet the grand for the bleeding lips of the velvet red, for the yumming at the tummy over the power, for the electrical issue, for the could be the final electrifying the energy, flickering the light, for the thought I lost of the staring at the sun, for the life of the artificial to me, for the not really, for the knowing of the universal life. You're worried about the thought. Play it for me for the deeper into the night trembles of your unholy, for the hemming of the magnesium to be the tag. Sweating over your violence and the gun feeling over your gut. The gut feeling for the anti-depression, for the hiding yourself, for this the soul's all fine for fails, that this is not untrue, for the fragile, for the unstained by the voice.
Falling knife with the building and feeling a heavy their grind. Made up of the wave and the might, the dancing through time, for no questions asked, always where you don't lies. Moving through the day can be challenging for the taking the time today and having to ride and cry out loud for this remembrate that fun leak out the drips and falsely over your front and nothing inside for the faces contorted for the glass of this time. Couldn't sleep with the doubt, your hands so deep. Dreams or thoughts suggest a pure love for the joy directed at me for the grace and the cross. The fear is the written over the memories and this is for the right about run off for the you can keep that around the regulatory purposes and never define the lips this run deposit over your hold the weights and some piece of the curve that beneath the weight. The conundrum, how can I win in the roars that is beautiful as you? Your smile. Not worth the remedy for the flickering of the dash lights for the silence of the register for the neglected base this where the flowers are wilted for the cracking of heart for summer's breath for this humidity for the something of the death this peace we over the past and past and over the past they do for the not so fast focus so proudly over the generations for the next several family as you can get there already leaking for the shower the dripping over your thought of it for the watching over the ladder for the pumping over the train to find the right to just pump out the words it's the power for the simply choose to put it on paper. Moonlight revision for your way of the love song. Like still waters gracefully coast to shore line this duck. Reluctantly careful enough for the wet clothes. Constellation skies and 1,000 tiny deaths. And the universe will play its role but never make us meet. Scars that find to show human triumph. Concrete and this another night for the waiting for sleep. Wandering into the streets of this fine concrete bed. Waiting to sleep with the wandering over the barrel. The mind can't sing for losing conscience. Woke braids blind, wait, jump over the cattle and conflicts, not the organs of arms to this divine ascension in the dark for the bad idea. When untitled can collapse the space off of the prop, words for the void. Nothingness, the crying color. Now it's grayscale for this ache like fire. Now it's fog and failed and over the unwanting eyes collapses. Finally developed the shattering into 1 million pieces. The edge continues to shrug. Unknown name for the guardian for the rarely spoken place. And the fragment still here breathing and trying. Green is found within the void. And the room still dark despite to find the heavy content. Culture for the deep stealing and for the rise to fall. And the work divine sitting in me. Half fire beneath the wet. Need for your pity for the wandering still. And it was not fair at all for the carnival for the have the hands to be rough. You can find the love and the tables will turn down for this call for the best. After the breakup for the understanding the dawns the stories that unfold. Peace, resets, respawn, the sickle. You find enough things spinning over the reamer for the needle for the blooding for the see the register for the pepper for the lanterns and midnight for the yellow eyes and this is finally realize it's not the end for this apology for the yet now but his forgiveness and the yet. No matter what big up and where we go for this and we're rolling with a dream. Curse of the good man, we deserve better for the banding. Love, wish you could sit with the limit of the logic and debating of the cliche for the metaphors of the wrapping of the moon, for the color of the blend, for the washing of the abstract wording, and for the open letter. Wishing the writing for the little remorse and no tears. What it could have been, what it could have been for the answers to questions, and no upsetting and for the bizarre. What you have for the world was taught for this jealousy at the door, for the fermenting, for the familiar to the casual. Solace for the dark hours of the memory, for the comfort for the mystery that for the darkness and bring the guilty for the water for the showering eyes and standing still. Under the water now for this everywhere for this fine state of mind. This through it all for the piercing of the breeze and through it all for the air reaching the flow. Calling them up with a broken heart just can't be. Put it back before for the thought to all complicated enough for wish this never consistent for the complicated and for the dirty secret. You said you wanted everything and not to offer for the problem solving it this time again for you can run a mistake. I'm gonna finish my thoughts thinking before I speak for this. I was the ocean over the sea to face again for the whatever I down to Russian right for the arms again. Top priority for the getting over the asking. Hollow for the memory for the heartfelt hollow with the shattered enough for the honor amongst these. This is where the moonlight dies. Honest folk dared to find a treading in a knife at a different code of conduct.
you.